5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you'll love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond Gusset Jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond Gusset Jeans got it. Others don't.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
I've tried to be nuanced and sophisticated about the whole Occupy Wall Street situation. We're going to get Max Kaiser's take on that in a moment, but finish up his point about where all this is going on the timetable and why this affects people. I get comments all the time that I don't care about stocks and bonds, or I don't care about the dollar. I'm not invested in that. You know, I work at Home Depot or whatever. Folks, this affects your business. It affects where you work. It affects the company you own, whether it's a coffee shop or a Fortune 500. This is the wealth of the world being tied up in giant scams and Ponzi schemes with a financial elite that put its people in every position of power, and who have a plan to implode the world economy by design and set the precedent to literally reduce us all down to servile serfs. This is economic warfare. This is horrible. And it's either us or them. But you notice they just get away with more and more and more. Now the global government is out in the open. But you're still a kook if you talk about it. I've got the New York Times attacking us. We've got, with horrible disinformation. We've got Forbes just the last 2 days. And now Aaron has the news. Let's just get to this first, then go into where it's all going with Max Kaiser. The main Occupy Wall Street site has banned my name. I'm already banned at most universities. I'm banned at most military bases. I'm banned at public transport Wi-Fi hubs that are taxpayer paid for in much of Europe. I'm getting banned everywhere. Infowars.com. Alex Jones has been banned off of Google News. Prison Planet Infowars kicked off of it. It's just everywhere because we know what we're talking about. We'll stand up and go, gee, when they take $1.2 billion of people's private accounts, look, the CFTC admits it's illegal, but it'll do nothing. I mean, I'll actually read the CFTC press release. Woo, big deal. I mean, we're not really that radical. I'm old-fashioned. I want freedom. And we're going into such tyranny. Aaron, tell folks the latest news you dug up.
Yeah, the latest is an article by Kurt Nemo. It's up at Infowars.com. Headline, OWS website bans Alex Jones conspiracy theories. And it gets into how OccupyWallStreet.org, which is an unofficial but sort of de facto leader of this movement, and they're broadcasting out of Zuccotti Park apparently, they've posted on their website the following: conspiracy theories, including any attempt to spam material by David Icke, Lyndon LaRouche, David Duke, or Alex Jones, all very different people, by the way, will be removed immediately, and the spammer will receive a swift global network ban. In other words, banned from the site. Fascist propaganda, including any attempt to spam these 4 people again, will be treated with the similar actions. In that, we are very specific about what fascism is. The word has a meaning.
Yeah, so now we see at least the leaders of this, the George Soros group, who tried to co-opt it, and then they attacked the peaceful protesters, using them as a cutout to then make the people running it look like victims in their little October revolution. They sit there as we stand up against the police beating them, stand up for the First Amendment, point out that nowhere are Ron Paul signs allowed, they'll tear them down. That is the leaders of it. They say there's not leaders. There are. They're the Democratic Party trying to co-opt it, but it's failing. See, and then they lie and say we're attacking people protesting Wall Street. No, we're not. We pioneered going after these crooks with Max Kaiser, Gerald Celente, Ron Paul. I'm talking 17 years I've been covering with George Humphrey, economist derivatives and all this. This is unbelievable, and it shows they're scared to death. They want left and right divided. They want Republicans attacking all people that protest Wall Street. They want Democrats attacking the entire Tea Party. The Republicans tried to co-opt the Tea Party. They tried to ban my name at these events when I was part of starting it with Ron Paul. They are scared of us getting together through populism. And this has got to be protested, folks. You've got to point out this is so authoritarian that this is an open public forum. Everybody come, and then be subtly influenced by us. The answer is raise taxes on the middle class to get more bailout money to foreign bankers. Oh, look, all these big bankers that have gotten billion-dollar bailouts like Warren Buffett off the taxpayer money. He says raise money on the rich, but he means somebody making $125,000 a year. Max Kaiser, this is outrageous information. What do you make of this?
Well, I think that you should go to London and you should step onto the world stage, because your show, when I go to London, people know Alex Jones. When I did my shows in London, I had 2 sellout performances at the King's Head in Camden, and people totally know Alex Jones at InfoWars, and they know your whole place in the history of this movement, or movements, plural, and, you're letting the local, don't let the turkeys get you down, if you're an eagle. I forget how that saying goes, but anyway, you're letting the little riffraff, the local riffraff, get you down. I'm telling you, if you come to London, go to London and do a show at the London, you have huge crowds, international press. People love you all over Europe. When I was in the Middle East, when I was in Cairo, people listen to InfoWars in Cairo. They know the show there. You're an international phenomenon, and you don't know it because you're in frickin' Austin, Texas. And, you don't know. You haven't seen people on the street in these other cities.
Max, you're very nice.
But, sure.
We have millions of listeners. My point is, this shows that the establishment Democrats, just like the establishment Republicans that are wedged at the hip, as you pointed out, in Fall of the Republic, they are trying to dominate it. And now they're having the police attack Occupy Wall Street because I believe they failed in co-opting. And what's your take on what's happening with Occupy Wall Street and what you were telling me privately about Wall Street's view of those guys?
Well, the Wall Street is really upset that they are being painted as scum, and they like to think of themselves as important people doing God's work, and the fact that every single day they've got people on the street effectively throwing tomatoes at them, it really has got them upset. And so I think in response, they're taking even greater risks. They're saying, oh, yeah, you think we're so bad? Well, let's do an MF Global. Let's destroy Jeffries. Let's take this down. Let's take that down. So they're becoming very antagonistic. They're now just destroying companies to show people they've got power, because this Occupy Wall Street is insinuating that these guys don't have all the power, that maybe the people have the power. So in response, they're becoming even more hostile, more belligerent, more reckless, taking bigger risks. And this, of course, puts enormous strain on the government, because the government has to bail them out because all of their risk-taking schemes end in failure. So this is just exacerbating the situation, and it's a real war. The people on the street have really got the attention of the people on Wall Street. No matter how many times they pretend like they don't care, they are really taking this seriously. And I hope the people in the Occupy movement understand that they have really drawn the enemy out, and there is really a lot of shots going back and forth. And we see it with the MF Global blow-up. We see it now with Jeffries blowing up. We see it with the whole Wall Street blowing up and these firms being taken hostage and shot and looted more openly, and just, remember during the back in the 30s, the famous Kristallnacht, when the Nazis just said, "To hell with it, we're just going to steal all the wealth from everybody," and it lives in the memory of people for decades. And we've achieved essentially Kristallnacht on Wall Street with MF Global. They're just basically outright saying and proving to people that they can steal with impunity. And if you don't like it, you put this yellow armband around your arm and identify yourself as a loser and get on a train to Treblinka, because you're nobody to us. We run
by the way,
show.
Max,
You're
just
scum.
to back you up, I've listened to the mainline neocon talk show host talk with hatred about the Occupy Wall Street and paint them with a broad brush as a bunch of communists when that's a small derivative group being supported by George Soros in there to control the opposition. It's all part of the delicate Hegelian dialectic. But I hear them going, they're scum, beat them, torture them, taser them. They're not allowed to protest in America. They're horrible. They're not free market. They're communist. Okay, well, how come then we've gotten $20+ trillion that we know of given to the banksters of taxpayer money? How come these neocons always defend giving unlimited trillions to the bankers in bailouts of my money and your money, and that we have to pay back in taxes, and that then devalues it? How about that? How is it free market? I mean, I've actually heard them defend MF Global going, well, you shouldn't have invested in that. They weren't investing. They had gotten this money. It was in their accounts. Again, these so-called fake free marketers, it's a bunch of propaganda. They're not free market. Max, can you speak to that?
Well, I'll give you a better example. Bank of New York, just exposed by Harry Markopoulos, who exposed the Bernie Madoff scandal. They are the custodian for trillions of dollars in pension accounts. For cops, the very cops that are attacking the protesters on the street have their pensions managed by custodians at Bank of New York. They were just caught by stealing 0.3% on every transaction going back 30 years. It's a multi-$100 billion heist. Bank of New York Mellon. And this has just been revealed. And they're supposed to be the custodian. They're not investors. They're not out there speculating. They're supposed to be the custodian. They're supposed to have confidence in the bank that they can hold a dollar without stealing it from you. And now that confidence has been shattered. If you get a brokerage account statement or a money market account statement or a mutual fund bank statement, all the numbers on that statement are false. It's a falsified document. There's nothing there. It's nonsense. If more than 10% of any of the customers of any of these institutions went in to get their money in the same day, they wouldn't be able to. It's not there. It's just not there. If you think you've got money in the bank and it says on your statement, you're an idiot. It's not there. Ask the people at MF Global. Ask the people at these other brokerage firms. It's gone. Okay? All the scams that were done with the penny stock chop shops in the 70s and 80s that I was witnessing when I was working on Wall Street, they're now being done by Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan. They're no better than the penny stock chop shops, whorehouses that used to riddle Wall Street during the 20s and in the 70s and even into the 80s. Now they're back. They're stealing with impunity. They've got all the politicians in their pockets. If you have money with them, forget it. It's gone. You have no money. You're an idiot.
Is this the biggest fraud of all time, as William K. Black, the professor who was a federal investigator and, put a bunch of guys in prison in the 80s, as you know? He says this is an order of magnitude or more. Folks, that means 10 times bigger for folks that haven't researched these financial issues. So how big is it? Who do you expect to start going down next? Because all these pimples are starting to pop out, as you just mentioned. China is executing banksters when they do this. Here they get elected governor. Here they're worshipped and called free market for robbing people. So what are the next cold sores to rise up? What's the timetable? What's the time frame? How do they expect to extricate themselves from this? Start World War III in the middle of it?
Well, if William Black says it's the biggest that he's seen, then I defer to him because he's really the expert in this. I know it's huge because of a very nasty word that came out very early in this. The word is commingling. When I was a stockbroker, you have to study the Securities Act of 33 and 34 to get your Series 7 brokerage license. You have to know that very, very well. And one of the words that you take away is this word commingling. It's the idea that your customer account, you're trading it as if it's your money. And this is the cardinal sin. It's something that not even, the most brazen, larcenistically minded stockbroker would do. And yet now it's